You're listening to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Each week, I'm going to be interviewing top realtors from coast to coast to give you a backstage pass on how they've created their amazing real estate empires and how you can copy them. Hi, this is Craig Proctor, real estate coach Craig Proctor, and welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Today, my special guest is Damian Senquiz from the Metro Atlanta area. Damian, thank you so much for being with us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, Craig. Thank you for having me.
Dude, you are doing more than awesome. You are kicking butt. You haven't been with me for that long, and you've had tremendous results. Let's talk about your rise to the top of the Metro Atlanta real estate scene.
Okay, so I started off in Atlanta, licensed in 1999. Solo agent, went with RE/MAX when I first got licensed. Thinking to myself, because RE/MAX was the top dog in town, and I said to myself, if I get licensed, I'm going with RE/MAX, and my phone is just going to ring off the hook by itself. And I get there, and I was just talking about this story this morning, and I get there, and sure enough, nobody called me but my girlfriend. I say, hey, what are you doing today? And I'm like, nothing. What are you doing? That's basically what happened. And then I did what other agents did. I kind of looked around what the other agents were doing and copied what they were doing, and doing the cold calling, door knocking, and on and on. And then,
like you're a worker, right? You're a worker, so you worked at it. You looked around at what everyone else is doing. You're cold calling, you're door knocking, and the problem is that only gets you so far. Right. That only gets me so far. And I was doing everything. I was wearing many hats. I was doing short sales. I was prospecting, stuffing my own envelopes, doing direct mail. And then lo and behold, I met a woman named Myra, who happened to be an agent with Todd. And I was chasing her around, and we were dating. And next thing you know, she says, I got to stop in Orlando. And I went to follow her over there. And next thing you know, I'm in a Craig Proctor conference. And well, thank God for Myra. If it wasn't for Myra, you and I would never have met.
Right. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, all right, well, Craig sounds really good. And James sounds great. And Myra likes it. So I must like it too. And I signed up. Didn't know that the little things like that would propel me to where I'm at right now. Had no idea.
So what did you like about this when you were first introduced to the Craig Proctor system? What really attracted you? Because you were kind of like almost like not open to it in the beginning, right? Myra basically drags you to this Craig Proctor conference, but right away you said you were compelled by it. Oh
yeah, I was compelled by the message. I heard of you back in the 90s, but I was brand new at the time, and I thought, man, this is maybe a little gimmicky. I'm not sure, And
well, you being with RE/MAX, you would have heard of me because back in the 90s, I was the top agent worldwide for RE/MAX. Right. You probably would have heard my name from back then. Hey, so what happened? How did you get started? Like for all the realtors that are watching this that are not involved with the Craig Proctor system yet, what was like? I want to share with them the big takeaways, the things that you started right away that really propelled your business. Because how many transactions are you going to do this year?
This year, we're going to end around 260 transactions.
Like that's 260, everyone. That's pretty cool. And you really haven't been involved that long with me to get up to 260. What's your goal for next year?
Oh, next year is huge. I mean, our goals, we're shooting for 600 transactions, 600 families that we're going to serve.
Now, people watching this right now might be calling BS. Like there's no, but a lot of people would call out BS to 260 transactions. That's a thing, folks. That's what he's doing right now. And if you take a look at the way Damian has ramped his business up, and it is a business, by the way, he's opened a Your Home Sold guaranteed realty brokerage. Okay, so this is a Craig Proctor brokerage. This is a business which allows Damian and Myra to make way more money, but not work as hard as they used to work, which, sounds like a fantasy, really, Damian, to most realtors. So I can see why, people would be skeptical hearing about your story and hearing about all the success stories within the Craig Proctor world. But when you learn how to leverage yourself and truly have a business that operates without your presence, really the sky is the limit, because here's, the vision that we all understand inside the Craig Proctor world, which is how many homes could I sell if it had nothing to do with me? You know, how many buyers could you work with if it had nothing to do with you? How many listings could you take on if it has nothing to do with? So that's the type of business you're building. Now, are you even going out to meet with any of the sellers or buyers at this point?
So out of the 250 or 260 transactions, I probably sold personally maybe 2.
That's cool. So out of 260 transactions, Damian's been involved in 2 of them. Okay, now going back to my question, because I'm excited here, going back to my question, when you first got started, what did you do first? You came to the first conference. What did you do first to kind of get things up and going and money coming in?
The very first thing that we did, I would, to be honest with you, the very first thing we did is my wife and I, we practiced the universal callback script. We realized that we needed to get in front of people. And the only way to get in front of people was, well, we had to generate leads. So we started generating leads and like, okay, now what do we do? So we were practicing your script, and we were practicing every night. She was the buyer, I was the agent, you know, back and forth until we got good. And then we started booking appointments for ourselves, and we started going on appointments. Then we're like, okay, well, who's going to call now? You know, so it just kind of kept growing from there. It was amazing.
The script is really important. Lots of agents can generate leads, but they're not very good at converting the leads. And then they say, well, the leads are no good. So
right.
There's just like there's an actual science to lead generation, there's an actual science to how to follow up the leads, what to do, what to say. There's a process we take these leads through. And so now, are you and Myra, are you calling back the leads yourself, or is that delegated to ISAs?
That's delegated to ISAs. We do step in if we need to, you know, to save a deal. You know, we step in for that, but it's pretty much all delegated to ISAs.
So it's interesting that when you came back, when you first got involved with this, the first thing that you drilled down on was the follow-up procedures, because you realized you already had lots of leads that you weren't converting. So you could just go back to all your unconverted leads and the new leads that were coming in, start using our follow-up process, and make a lot more money without even necessarily having to generate a lot more leads.
I would say in the beginning, we didn't even have any leads. We had to learn that first, but then we also had to learn the universal callback script. And we realized that face-to-face is a rain-making activity.
So how were you staying in business before you met me? You say you didn't have a lot of leads. Where were the clients coming from?
I was just my own direct mail, and people would call, and I had no script. I'm like, hey, so you want to sell? Kind of, and went over there, and
right.
It was just my own deals here and there. Nothing, nowhere near compared to what we're doing today.
Okay, so honestly, to give this some perspective, you did 260 transactions this year. Right. What were you doing as far as transactions annually before you met me?
Before, probably 12 to 15-ish a year.
I love it. Okay, now this is what I want everyone to watching to understand. There are a lot of coaches and gurus that say, "Oh, I have these $1 million produce." Yeah, but I make $1 million producers, right? So there's a difference. Like if Damian came to me and he was already making a couple $1 million a year, I can't really take credit as a coach for saying, oh, I've got all these millionaire agents in my program. No. What Damian's talking about here, and you know this to be true, Damian, is you see so many Craig Proctor members that come from sort of a mediocre beginning, right? Like you were making a living at it, but you definitely were hitting the ball out of the park, to now you are killing it. Hey, by the way, what did you like better? 15 transactions a year or 260?
260 without me doing hardly any of the deals. Yes, 260.
Cool. Okay, so 260 now. Goal is 600 for next year. How are you going to get there? What do you got to do? What do you got to do next year to double up this incredible run that you've had this year to get to 260? What's got to change?
What's got to change? Okay, so we're working on bringing on more agents, more OSAs. So we've been averaging about 5 new agents a month. So we're growing that. Lead generation, because of your system, is not a problem. So generating leads is not a problem. Booking those appointments, that's not a problem. We do have to up the appointments booking. We did our numbers. We reverse engineered everything we have to do. So we know what we have to do to get there, for sure. It's just, we need people.
How many people do you have on your team right now?
Currently 30. Well, OSAs 30. With everybody that we have, is probably around 45.
Okay, so you want to expand your team. You want good people. You want agents that can follow a system. And the outside sales agents on your team are pretty spoiled, dude. I mean, really, like, they don't have to worry about marketing. They don't have to worry about lead generation. They simply go out to the appointments that you and Myra book for them. So imagine that. If I'm an outside sales, if you're an outside sales agent and you're in the greater Atlanta area, you just want to give Damian a call. Just give him a call and say, how can I partner up with what you're doing? Okay, you don't have to spend all the years figuring this out. Believe me, everything you want to do in real estate is already being done right now by Damian. I would just give him a call, because if you're an outside sales agent working on Damian's team, you are literally just going from appointment to appointment to appointment. And when you get there, Damian trains you on, here's what to say. Here's the ultimate listing presentation, or here's the ultimate buyer presentation, because when you're partnered up with Damian, he doesn't give you leads, by the way, no leads, only appointments. The leads go to the inside sales agents. The inside sales agents qualify the leads, and the appointments are given to you as an outside sales agent. And all you have to do is use the systems, use the presentation, go from appointment to appointment. And then when they get the listing signed, all they do is send it into your office. I mean, they're really spoiled, right? Because then your team will get the key cut, install the key box, make the feature sheets, install the for sale sign, create the virtual tours. All of that is done because we want the salespeople doing what they're best at, selling, going out to appointment to appointment to appointment. And what about inside sales agents? Are you looking for those as well?
Oh yeah, we're always interviewing and bringing on inside sales agents. Right now, I believe we have 7. We have a couple coming in today for interviews, so we're looking to expand that.
Yeah, now the inside sales agent position is like the hardest to recruit for, okay? But if you're interested in being an ISA on Damian's team, understand, you get a guaranteed salary, plus you get a commission, and you have set work hours, which my ISAs that I hired, Damian, what they liked about this position is, they didn't have to work 12 hours a day. One lady that I hired, her name was Carol. She was a good real estate agent, making about $150K a year. And she said, it wasn't that I couldn't sell real estate. It's just, I was tired of, maybe I was going to have a family get together on a Saturday night, and then boom, a bunch of offers come in. I was tired of that lifestyle. So what attracted her to being an inside sales agent on my team is she got a guaranteed salary, a generous guaranteed salary. So even if she had a bad week, she was getting a check, and she could still make $100,000 a year or more, and have set hours. So she didn't have to work on Saturday evening. She didn't have to work on Sundays. So if you are maybe that type of personality, you think, hey, maybe, that sounds good. I would like to be an ISA, an inside sales agent. You don't go out on any appointments at all. You just get the leads. So Damian gives you the leads. You call the leads using our scripting. We teach you and train you exactly what to do, and you set up appointments for the outside sales agent. So I would say the ISA, if we use the football analogy, Damian, the ISA is like the quarterback, right?
Right.
And your OSAs are like the receiver. Mm-hmm. So the ISAs are just throwing the ball to the receiver all day long. The receiver, goes out on that appointment and rushes through the goal line. So, I know we have some PowerPoints that you want to share too. So what we're talking about today, if we get to it, is how to generate leads and how to do it inexpensively. Actually, how to raise your fee. If you provide enough value, you can actually charge more. Right. You just need to know how to do it, right? And before you judge this idea of earning more money, it's just because you don't understand how to do it, right? Price is only a factor in the absence of value. So we teach you not only how to get more business, but to actually earn a higher fee, because you guys are worth it, right? How many of you would like to know? Let us know in comments. How many of you would like to know how to do this? How would you like to know how to have just a overflow of leads coming into your office? How would you like to know how to train up your outside sales agents and your inside sales agents? Grow this team so your business doesn't really depend on you. Okay, it's bigger than you. And when your business a true business works without the owner, right? Mm-hmm. Like, right now, your house exists. You don't have to be in the house. Your house just exists. Your business, and I know you've gone on some great vacations, maybe limited a little bit by COVID here, but that's the kind of life we want, folks. We want to have a business that works, that provides us income. You're not a slave to this thing. Like it actually works for you. That's what we're talking about. So we're going to have Faith pull up the PowerPoint presentation that you have so generously provided us here, Damian. And by the way, we're going to go through this quickly, but if you stay till the end, we'll make we'll make this available. We'll have a download in the comments or something. But if you're a real estate agent in Atlanta and you want to learn more about what Damian does, like how to partner up with him, Damian, what would be the best way for Atlanta realtors to reach out to you?
They could call our office directly, 678-263-2115. They could Google, Facebook, and we're all over social media, pretty much everywhere.
Well, that's true. That's kind of a dumb question. How would you find Damian? Go to Google, type in his name, okay, and you'll see him everywhere. But we'll, Faith, repeat that number again, and I'll have Faith type it into the comments below your contact info.
All right, 678-263-2115.
Okay, and by the way, Damian's name is right here in front of you on your monitor. So let's go through these slides here. Faith, click through them, but do it at Damian's pace. And we're not going to get through them all, but again, we're going to make it available for everybody in the comments. If you wait till the end, you'll see in the comments, we'll have a link so you can download this information.
Okay, so this is just a little bit of an overview. I mean, we brought in $2.2 million in commissions. We donate a portion of our income to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, and some tips that we have. And by the way, when you talk about fees, we're the highest paid agents in our marketplace. On our buyer transactions, the average commission here is 2.2, and we're collecting 4.5 pretty consistently, as well as a $597 fee up front, which we up from $499. And that's all thanks to Craig Proctor. We got really good at the system. So we should.
Okay, let me interrupt you there just for 1 sec. Let's go back to that slide. I'll be the devil's advocate. Damian, that won't work in my marketplace. My marketplace is different. Look, I'll tell you what's not different about your marketplace. If you're watching this, every realtor is cutting their commission. That's what's not different. We teach you how to add so much value to the transaction that the buyers and sellers are willing to pay more. Okay, you can't make anybody do anything, but you can compel a buyer or seller to A, want to work with you, and B, we're going to teach you how to communicate your value so your clients don't fight you. You're not chasing them. We're using attraction marketing, and they're willing to pay you more. You just need to learn how to do this. So please, everyone, do not immediately judge these ideas. Do not listen to what Damian's saying and call BS. Oh, that would never work in my marketplace. Why would buyers pay me more? They could just work with any other agent. Yes, they could, but doing it this way, they will. Okay, right. Do not allow your skepticism to get in the way of learning. Just for right now, just say maybe.
Yeah, but most agents in our marketplace do not do what we do as far as charging upfront fees. This is a true story. I did get a Facebook message from another agent in my marketplace. He asked me, hey, do you really get your buyers to write you a check for $597 before showing a home? And I responded, well, sometimes they use a credit card, so, but anyways, this is our we have to have USPs, so we do market your home sold guaranteed or we'll buy it, which is a great lead generator in its own right.
Well, heck, it's the name of your company. So it's an awesome company name. Like when your unique selling proposition is right in your company name. So if you Google Damian, you don't see Damian like Century 21, Remax. You see Damian and the name of his brokerage, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. That's the way Google works, right? If you're a real estate agent, you're associated with a brokerage, a company, and when people Google you, it would come up with your name and whatever brokerage you're at. So that's why Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the name was, we selected that because the name is about what buyers and sellers want, right? It's about the benefit to buyers and sellers where, other company names are just, made up names. There's no USP, there's no benefit in the name of the brokerage itself.
Right. And so on this slide, we have our marketing schedule. So this is about a lot of the marketing that we do that generate leads for free. So a lot of it's social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. This is a slide of our referral marketing, which goes to our blog about, that we're on a mission to raise $25,000 for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. So there's some links there. They could click on it. We do get referrals on our worthy cause. So we post ads daily on Facebook Marketplace, as well as our Google business page, our Sunday Tour homes that we market to our database and all social media. And this is a little bit of our calendar. So Monday, we have a structured calendar. So Monday, we run ads on Best Buy of the Week. Tuesdays are relevant content. Wednesdays are worthy cause marketing, because we have to have a schedule That way our team knows what they're doing. Thursday, relevant content, Friday is the best buy of the week again. So this is repeated week.
Damian, please tell everybody what happens if you don't have your social media scheduled out. What happens?
What happens is that I think you're just running on prayer. Please help me. I don't know.
Yeah. So my point is, it just doesn't happen, right?
Doesn't happen.
How many of you would agree to that? If you don't have this scheduled out, if you don't have like a perfect day, a perfect week, if you don't have all your social media planned out ahead of time, I'll tell you what happens. It's hit and miss, right? And you get to the end of the week, you're like, well, I was really hoping to do this and that. So just like this podcast that we're doing right now, Damian, it's not like once in a while. It's every Tuesday I'm doing this, right? Every Tuesday at 11 a.m. East Coast time, I'm interviewing one of our superstar realtors. Every Wednesday, I'm going live on Facebook. So everybody, this is vitally important. I'm sure you're all doing this, but just in case you're not, create your social media, your marketing schedule. What gets done on Monday? What gets done on Tuesday? And that way it happens.
Yeah, it happens. I don't even have to think about it. It just happens. So the only thing that's not listed here is that every time we get a new listing, we do a new listing post. So this is a sample of our Sunday tour of homes. In that ad, which is free, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, there's a lot of offers in there. Buy this home, we'll buy yours. Amazing home in Norcross. This is a Sunday tour of homes ad. We have our free report, save thousands by avoiding these 6 costly mistakes. So it's a free report ad mixed in with a bunch of offers in there. Your home sold guaranteed or we'll buy it. So pretty good. This is Facebook Marketplace ads, hot list of Alpharetta, Georgia, modern style homes under 500K. And buy this home, we'll buy yours. And on the next slide goes into.
So hang on, before we advance, how do these free ads work for you on Marketplace? Remember, these are free, absolutely no cost to running these on Facebook Marketplace.
Yep, everybody has. If you have Facebook, then you have a way to post on Facebook Marketplace. So Facebook Marketplace is a great way to generate leads. It's probably my number 3 top lead generator. So we're posting daily. It's free, and all of our ads have a bunch of offers mixed in there, and our phone rings off the hook. And I think I have a slide showing of all the responses that we get on our ads on Facebook Marketplace.
Cool. And what would be your average lead cost with your paid ads on Facebook?
Paid ads, our average lead cost is probably around $3 to $5 a lead. On
folks,
Facebook.
$3 to $5 a lead. What's the average commission in Atlanta right now?
Right now, probably around $14,000 to $15,000.
Okay, so for 15K, for 15K, you can run a lot of $5, $10 ads for a $15,000. See, this business is so lucrative, folks, when you understand how to do marketing and you know how to do it effectively. Look, this is, and you can scale this out. What we're talking about is totally scalable. Okay, you can generate leads, paid ads on Facebook for $5 to $10. You can generate leads for free on Marketplace. Then we've got Google, and we've got Google LSA ads. Are you doing that as well, I suppose?
I am. Yep.
Yeah, no, those are just call-ins. Those are like, hey, Damian, can you come over and list my house?
Yep, come list me. On this is the second page of the same ad, but I just wanted to show the bottom of our ad here. Your home sold. We have thousands of buyers in our database looking to buy a home in your area. Your home may be already sold. There's a free, no obligation home evaluation. Also, we're offering a free hot list of homes, foreclosures, bank owned, and other distressed sales. So there's a lot of content in the Facebook ad that we're running.
Very good. I mean, it's amazing what you guys have done in such a short period of time. Now, who's running the ads for you? Are you in there running the Facebook ads, or someone on your team doing it?
I have somebody here. That's pretty much what he does all day long. He's just running ads on Facebook, as well as it's basically our courier. So while he's driving around putting signs in the yard and lock boxes, but when he's back in the office, he's doing this.
I love it. So your high-tech guy is actually your low-tech guy.
Oh, yeah.
When he's not running around putting up signs and couriering stuff around. He's actually generating listing leads for you.
Yep, you can see this is the screenshot of my marketplace responses, and you can see 44 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, 13 hours ago. This is all one day within 24-hour period. People giving me their phone numbers there, they're responding. So all day long, it's just like this, just all day people responding. We're going back and forth, and we're booking appointments, and then they're paying us up front to work with them. So, or for them to work with us, I would say.
Okay, for those watching, how many of you would like to learn how to do this? Let us know in the comments if this is something that you'd be interested in doing. Again, if you're in the Metro Atlanta area, You don't have to learn any of it. All you need to do is pick up the phone and call Damian. Don't prejudge this, just pick up the phone. It costs you nothing to have a conversation with Damian, and he'll talk to you about, okay, this is how this would work if we were to partner up. If you were to partner up with Damian, you would make more money, I promise you, net in your pocket, and you would work less. Two things would happen if you join up with Damian. Two things: you would make more money and you would work less. That's what happens when you partner up with someone that can help you leverage your business. Now, if you're not in the metro area, you want to contact me, you can have a free call with me. You do that by going to proctorcall.com. So like just my name here, proctorcall.com. You can go to my acuity day timer. You can fill out whatever day, go to my calendar, fill out a day and time that works for you. We'll jump on a call, talk to you about where you are in your business, show you what your business could look like. And then you can decide, hey, would I like to work with Craig longer term, or just take the information I've shared with you and use it however you want. So again, inside Atlanta, metro Atlanta area, pick up the phone, call Damian, just a phone call. No, there's no downside to having a phone call, to having a conversation. That's where all good things started. Look you heard Damian tell his story. If he hadn't have met Myra, and Myra hadn't have dragged him to the first Craig Proctor conference, Damian, you and I wouldn't be talking right now.
Would not be talking. And I am so thankful and grateful for you and all the coaches in the Craig Proctor system. I mean, it's been an amazing ride for us. So I'm grateful for this. So I really
let's keep going. We'll get through as much of this as we can. And remember, if you wait until the end of our interview, we'll make this available. All these slides we'll make available. We'll have a download in the comments. So you can take this, look at it, check it out. But we want you to take action. Don't just watch this and go, that's really cool. We want you actually to do something with this. So again, to reach me, it's proctorcall.com. Just book yourself an appointment. We'll answer your questions, explain how you can get started and have the same kind of success Damian had. But if you're in Atlanta, you don't need to do that. Just call Damian. He's done it all. He's got this all set up. All you have to do is walk in to this franchise prototype that's already set up and just waiting for you to leverage off of that. All right, what do we got here?
So this is some Best Buy of the Week ads. And you'll notice on the ad itself, we have a QR code, which is a great lead generator. It's free. They scan it. I capture their information. This Best Buy hot list. We have a 1-800 hotline number on there, which generates lots of leads as well. Or they could call us directly at our office number. So 4 ways to reach out to us. They could call us. They could call the 1-800 hotline number. They could scan the QR code, or go to bestbuylistings.com and register there. And all of them produce, all of them. So on the next slide, I'm showing examples, I believe, of some of the call-ins that come in. This is the Google business page. I believe, 8586 views this month on Google. Not bad. Next slide, please. This is incoming calls from our Google business page. And on the left side, we have our basically about us, which is nothing but offers. Our mission is to sell your home at your price, your time frame, least amount of hassle. Your home sold, we'll buy it. We have buyers in waiting. We sell for more, faster. Your home may be already sold. Call us. And also on the Google business page, you can post your ads there. We have reviews, and these are all the incoming calls from I just took a screenshot of this last month when I was preparing for this. So you can see calls coming in pretty much every day from Google business page.
And what are the quality of those calls? What do they sound like?
They're one of the best. I would say anyone that calls us directly is a good lead. I mean, call-ins are awesome. So I love receiving incoming calls from Google or from Facebook. I mean, so it's better than a Facebook paid ad that someone clicks on and you're calling them versus someone calling you.
Totally. So let's agree that the marketing we're doing to cause the buyers and sellers to pick up the phone and call you are the highest intent leads that we can get as a realtor. That's what we want to teach you to do. We want to teach you how to get people, real prospects, not just people, real prospects, people that have high intent, picking up the phone saying, could you help me buy or sell real estate?
Also, you notice on my Google business page, I have a different phone number for every marketing piece, so I know where the calls are coming from. So this is, I know when someone dials a 0229, they're calling from our Google business page. So we're able to track, where buyers and sellers are calling us from.
Okay, very important, everyone. Having a different phone number or a different URL, different tracking methods, because tracking is very important. Damian never does anything that can't be tracked.
Right.
That way you're able to test. When you track every penny that you spend, you're going to know what works, what doesn't work, and then you can start to experiment and test changing certain parameters to determine what the best approach is. So that's very cool. Separate phone number, so you know exactly where these leads are coming from.
Right. Okay. Next slide. These are call-ins from our 1-800 hotline numbers that we run on all of our ads. They have different ID numbers, so I took a screenshot of that. You can see a bunch of calls came in on the 20th and the 15th and the 14th of October. So 800 hotline numbers do work if you use them. So I love getting calls, and I don't think it's showing the whole screen, but there it is on the left side, shows all the phone numbers of so it captures the phone numbers of everybody that calls in, and we call them back. I mean, these are leads, so call-ins.
Yeah, the 800 hotline system is something that all of our members get. We set everyone up with their own direct response lead generation website. So we do the websites for you. We design the websites for you. All these recorded messages are done for you, all the 800 numbers. We'll even run your Facebook ads for you, but we teach you how to do it as well. So a lot of this is done for you to get you started. It's not really that complicated. I know a lot of realtors in the beginning, they're like, well, you know what? I'm not very good with social media. It's like, guys, basically, you're just pressing buttons. You don't have to be afraid of technology. This is not complicated. Or, the way marketing is going today, Damian, is mostly video. So we hear realtors say, well, I'm not really good on video. I don't like the way I look on video, or I don't know what to say. We help you through all that.
Right.
And when you're doing video, you don't have to be on all the videos if you're like, don't want to be on the videos. We'll teach you what massive lead generation looks like. Again, none of this is complicated. We purposely make it really easy so people can have the kind of success that Damian's having.
I mean, on one ad, I have an 800 hotline number, I have a website URL, and I have a QR code. And this is showing all the scans on the QR code. When someone scans it, I'm capturing their email or phone number. They're dialing in, they're calling it the Google business page, and all of that's pretty much from free marketing, thanks to Craig Proctor.
We love free. All right, let's go to the next slide, Faith. If you guys are liking this, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking.
This is just for people who are not believers that we charge $597 up front. Well, this is credit card authorizations of $597 fees of buyers willing to pay us because we're able to show more value to anybody else coming in when they meet. And you can see the dates, the 27th, 29th, 29th. Every day we have clients coming in and swiping their credit card.
Okay, let's make sure everyone understands this, because I think maybe some don't. Okay, so Damian is so good with marketing that he doesn't have to just accept whatever is being offered. When he's working with a buyer, he doesn't have to just accept whatever is being offered on MLS to the buyer agent. I mean, he could do that, but he doesn't have to do that anymore. He's so good at generating an abundance of leads and moving the best buyers up the ladder, okay, ascending them, that he now, to work with Damian, here's what has to happen. First of all, before, he's not showing you houses. Before he's not showing you houses anyway.
Right.
His agents are showing you houses. So no matter what, Damian's not running around in the car showing you houses. He has agents, team members that do that. But the rules of engagement in Damian's office work like this. When we get a buyer lead, okay, we meet with the buyer lead and we do a presentation first before we start driving the buyer around looking at houses. Because we all know if we do it the opposite way, if we start driving the buyer around, showing them houses, it's going to be very difficult to get them signed up to a buyer agency agreement. And it's going to be very difficult to negotiate a higher fee because you've already demonstrated to the buyer that your services are worth nothing. Your time is worth nothing because you've been willing just to, drop everything you're doing and run around and show them houses. So here's how this deal works. The buyer needs to meet with one of Damian's outside sales agents. They need to sign a buyer agency agreement. How long is that for, Damian?
It's a 6-month agreement.
A 6-month agreement. They need to agree to the commission that you require, okay? That's being paid by the buyer, right? The commission's being paid by the buyer. And they and we're not just accepting whatever's being offered on MLS, because we know where that commission's going, folks. It's going down, 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 down. Why would you want another real estate agent to dictate what you're going to earn when you're representing your buyer? Okay, the listing agent's representing the seller. You're representing your buyer. So to do business with Damian, the buyer has to meet with one of Damian's agents. They have to sign a 6-month buyer agency agreement. They have to agree to the commission, okay, that's going to be earned by Damian's team. And they've got to stroke a check or give their credit card for $597. Now that $597 fee is an upfront fee. Okay, it's not credited towards the price of the home. It's not refunded to the buyer if the buyer doesn't buy.
Right.
It is an upfront fee. And here's why we can defend this. When your outside sales agent spends an hour of their time meeting with the buyer, that's worth something, right? Like your team members are spending time. So you are literally getting paid for meeting with the buyer and signing them to a buyer agency agreement, even if they never buy a home. How many of you would like to learn how to do that? Don't say, oh, this won't work or this is unethical. No. Name me a profession outside of real estate where the contract, where people will do work for you and not get paid. Okay, my attorney, I got to pay an upfront transaction fee. I have to pay a retainer. I have to pay something to get my attorney to even look at something, even if he's not going to take it on, right? So this is how you can conduct your business. You are the one that sets the rules of engagement. So we just want to stretch your paradigm here, folks. This is not theory. This is actually happening right now for Craig Proctor members all over the country.
Yep. I mean, exactly what you said. I mean, they come into the office, they meet with their agent, they spend about an hour with the agent. And at the end of the day, they write a check, sometimes write a check. Most of the time it's a credit card for $597. If they don't do it, then the question is, what is stopping you from moving forward? And what I found out is that the reason is not the fee. Usually if they don't move forward, it's because there's something else going on in the background, maybe a bankruptcy, maybe they're not sure if they can get qualified, something else, which is a great filter because I want to know who's serious and who's not. So, and if they say, oh, well, I'm not sure if my credit's ready, then it's like, okay, why don't we go ahead and move forward? We could sign up. And then if once you approve, then you get paid then. How's that sound? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. We could do that. So, it's a good filter. I love it. It's a game changer. And what I do here at our office is that we share the $597 fee with the OSA, with the outside sales agent. So we have agents that are making $1,100 to $1,200 a week on fees, which is an extra $40,000, $50,000 a year.
Right. So your outside sales agents, they when they participate in this, they get part of the 597, which is a great motivator. But bottom line, here's what it does. That the buyer, the leads that you generate, the people that are willing to meet with you, sign a 6-month buyer agency agreement, and stroke a check or give you their credit card for $597 are pretty qualified buyers. That's what this is all about. It's not about the $597. It's about qualifying, sifting and sorting through these massive amounts of leads that you have, getting the best ones to meet with you. Who's going to meet with Damian and who's going to pay the $597? The most motivated buyers, the most sincere buyers, the most ready to act buyers. And those are the buyers that you want to spend your time with. So, right, the idea is I don't want people to get this the wrong way. It's not about the $597. It's about the qualification process. If the buyers filter through all these steps, we know we've got real buyers, and that's the only buyers we're going to be spending our time with. Okay, let's go to the next slide because we're running out of time here. Okay, Faith, next slide, please. And we've lost Faith. Okay, there we go. Everyone listens to the same radio station, WIFM. Explain the buyer profile. What is this? We can go back to that for just a second, Faith, please.
Like you mentioned earlier, when buyers come in, we're not just running out showing them homes. they come in, we sit down with them for an hour. It's not about us, it's about them. So we're asking them, we tell them, yeah, thank you for coming over. We really appreciate you taking the time out. And if you could go back to the buyer profile, the questions there is, we're asking them questions. What makes you comfortable in your current home? What are you looking for in a home? And a lot of times they give us surface answers like bedrooms, baths, all those things. And then we'll say, okay, now, Craig, you get all those things from renting. So what does home ownership really mean to you? So we're asking a bunch of questions. We're really digging in as far as what's the real reason behind buying a home. And then after that, it transitions into the VIP buyer presentation. So this is kind of the process of what we do when we meet a buyer. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. But it's a game changer. We've had buyers, one or two buyers that didn't sign up with us and went with another agent, and all the agent did was just show homes. And then the buyer came back to us and said, hey, yeah, I met with somebody else. I want to go with you guys, because we did more than what most people would do when they're working with a buyer. So this is just a sample of some questions that we ask when we're working with a buyer.
Folks, remember, you can get all this at the end of our interview. We'll have a download in the comments. We're giving this away to you, folks. We want you to be successful. The more you know about what Damian does and more you know about the Craig Proctor system, the more that you're going to want to get involved and partner up with us. Okay, let's go to the next slide, please.
Next slide is that we're just transitioning from the buyer profile, asking questions. This is the second page. Number 14 is the big question. When it comes to home buying, what's your biggest concern? We want to know what their concerns, any objections that they have. So this goes in pretty deep. Number 15, we say, hey, I want to do a 5-star quality job for you. I want to provide excellent customer service. So tell me, what does excellent customer service mean to you?
Love it.
Answers we're writing down ferociously on this paper. So our agents are writing everything down that the buyer says. We're going through some other, the search criteria, any needs and wants that the buyer has, and then we transition into the VIP buyer presentation. So next slide would show that.
And that presentation is what all of your agents use. They're saying the same thing in the same order over and over and over again to get the same great results when they meet with buyers. So there's no winging it here. We don't have, there's no margin for error. There's no making things up or shortcutting it. Every buyer that your team is meeting with is getting the same great presentation over and over again. And we need these kind of systems in our business, folks. Look, if at the end of your buyer presentation or your listing presentation, if you're faced with all kinds of objections, okay, if you have to be an arm twister, it just tells us that your presentation isn't strong enough. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, I have to go out on all the appointments myself because I'm better. Like I could never hire someone else to do what I do. Look, it could be all systemized. That's what I used to think. That's what drove me crazy. In my early years as a real estate agent, that's why I was working 7 days a week, is because I falsely believed that only Craig could communicate these benefits. Nobody could do it like Craig. It's not true. We've taken the presentations, we've systemized them, right? So this would be exactly, we're saying to the buyer exactly what Craig would say to the buyer, exactly what Damian would say to the buyer, but we're teaching the outside sales agents to do it just like us and follow this system. And if they say it the same way, do it the same way, they will get the same results.
Yep.
And Damian, as soon as you got to that point where your outside sales agents could get the same results as you, in other words, when you realized that when you got involved that you couldn't change the outcome, that they're getting the same results that you're getting, you were then free. You were free. You knew, okay, I can delegate that. I no longer have to work with buyers and sellers because I've recruited the right people. I've coached them up. I've trained them on how to do it exactly the way I'm doing it and get the same results.
Yep.
The Rainmaker theory says you don't get involved with anything unless you can change the outcome. Okay, so you draw a line in the sand and you say, if I can't change the outcome, I'm not going to do it. All right, let's have a look at, we got to get through this. Let's go to the next couple of slides and then we'll wrap this up.
I think this might be the last one. It's just kind of a screenshot of our VIP buyer system. This presentation that we use, we took yours, adopted it, and it's a game changer. And the good thing about where my office sits is it's right next door to where the agents meet their OSAs. I mean, the OSAs meet the buyers, so I could hear through the wall.
That's cool.
I'm listening. I'm like, yes, great job. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. That was the same as my office. I sat at my Remax office. I sat with the walls were paper thin, Damian, and I sat on the other side of like a 1-inch wall from my ISAs, and I could hear exactly what they were saying. So look, every part of what Damian's team is doing, Damian's an expert at it. So Damian isn't delegating, he's not abdicating responsibility. Damian and Myra became experts at every part of this. They become experts at being the outside sales agent, being the inside sales agent. They became marketing experts first, and then they were able to delegate that. Does everyone see the difference? You can't delegate what you don't know how to do. That's called abdication. Too many of you are doing this right now with your marketing. You don't really understand enough about it. So you're buying leads from Zillow, you're buying leads from realtor.com, you're knocking on doors, you're messing around with Facebook trying to teach yourself, or you're learning from other coaches and gurus who frankly were failed real estate agents. Most of these people that call themselves coaches have never actually got rich selling real estate. They made a lot of money. A lot of my competitors made a lot of money like doing seminars and coaching. But what makes this unique is I actually sold real estate at a high level. Many of you know I was the #1 RE/MAX agent in the entire world within 3 years of having my license. And Damian, that's why you heard about me way back in the 90s, back in your RE/MAX days.
I would have jumped in sooner, for sure. I wish I would have jumped in sooner. I think there are a few more slides because I believe I put in some settlement statements as proof.
Okay, let's go there. Let's get through them all.
Oh, cancellation guarantee. This is something that we pull out at the end.
Right. If the buyer won't agree to sign up, and they say, well, gee, Damian, what if we don't like you guys? What if we're not happy? We're fearful we'll be locked in, and maybe you can't find us a house. If need be, you can go to the 100% all-out cancellation fee, which basically says, well, look, if you're not happy with us for whatever reason, we'll cancel the agreement, which now eliminates any reason not to commit. Because now, once you offer the 100% cancellation guarantee, if they still won't sign the buyer agency agreement, it probably means, you know what, they're lying to you, and they were never going to be loyal ever. And that's why we take them through this process, because some of the buyers that we meet with, no matter what, are not going to commit their loyalty. So how many of you would, let me know in the comments, how many would rather know that at the onset? Would you rather know the buyer's not going to be loyal to you at the beginning, at the onset, or would you rather know that the buyer's not going to be loyal, 3 weeks down the road or 2 months down the road? Right. We want to know up front. So we take them through the process. The buyer agency agreement gets signed, the upfront transaction fee. What do you call it? Not a transaction fee. What do you call the $597?
We call it a administration fee or
administration fee,
setup fee,
retainer fee. You can call it whatever you want, folks, but it's a sign of loyalty. You meet with us. Step 1, you got to meet with us. Step number 2, you got to sign the buyer agency agreement, agreeing to how we're going to get paid. Whether that's going to be 2.5%, 3%, 3.5%, 4%, you decide. Just like when you meet with a seller, you get to decide. You get to decide, what's my fee going to be? If the seller won't pay you what you want, you can walk out the door. You've got the same ability to do this with buyers. Don't let the listing agent dictate what you're going to get paid. Here's the question. In Metro Atlanta, Damian, are most of the listing agents, are they strong negotiators or weak negotiators?
Definitely weak negotiators.
Then you don't want a weak negotiator dictating or negotiating your fee when you're working with the buyer. You want to negotiate your own fee. So if they won't sign the buyer agency agreement, which probably 8 out of 10 do, but for the 2 out of 10 that don't, you can go to this cancellation agreement, which says, look, whatever fears you have, if you're concerned that we're not going to be a good fit for you, that we're not going to provide you great service, 100% cancellation guarantee. You can walk from any time. We'll cancel the agreement. If they still won't sign, the buyer agency agreement, the alarm bell should be going off. And your mindset should be, okay, here's a buyer that's telling me, right now they're telling me they are not going to be loyal to me. And since you've got a huge pipeline of all these other buyers, the attitude should be next.
Right.
Next, okay, this buyer's not a good fit. Next, we move on to the next buyer and so on. Okay, let's go to the next slide, please. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, and then we have our buyer guarantee, our buyer protection plan as well. If you're not happy with your home, we'll buy it back. So that's part of our value when we're doing our buyer presentation.
Okay, quickly tell us how that works. Okay, so that's a pretty strong offer. They're saying to the buyer, If you work with us and you're not 100% happy with this home that you're buying, we'll either buy it back, okay, not necessarily the price they paid. We'll either buy it back or we'll sell it for free. And the condition, of course, is they'd have to buy another home through you to get that guarantee, this is really just the same as the guaranteed sale program, but it's flipped around in this case to benefit the buyer.
Right. And it lets the buyer know too that after the purchase will still be there for them. So gives them peace of mind.
You know, when you're buying a house, especially the way the market's so hot right now, and you know, there's multiple offers in every property, like, you got to understand it from the buyer's point of view. They have to make a pretty knee-jerk decision on this property. Oftentimes they have to go in with no conditions, certainly not conditional on the sale of their house. Maybe they're even going in without a home inspection. That's the only way. They got to go in as a cash offer, no conditions. So when a buyer is making a decision quickly like that, you can see there's some risk, right? I mean, there's always risk when you're buying a home, right? You don't know, when you buy a home, you don't know what the neighbors are going to be like until you move in. You don't really know whether you like a home until you actually move in and live in it for a bit. So Damian has this unique guarantee that, hey, you know, we're not just here to sell you a house. We're not just here to get a commission check. We actually guarantee your satisfaction or your happiness with the home that you purchase using our services, or, you know, we'll buy it back. And what's the time limit? 6 months, a year? How long?
We do 24 months.
24 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So you buy a house, as a buyer, you buy a house using Damian's team. They'll actually guarantee your happiness or satisfaction in that home for 24 months. Anytime within that 24 months, if this isn't the house for you, and it doesn't matter why, we don't care. You don't like the neighbor, you realize the kitchen's too small, you realize commute's too long, doesn't matter. All you have to do is call Damian, and they'll either buy it back or sell it for free, as long as you buy your next home through Damian. Damian, this has been an awesome interview, man. I really appreciate it. Look, give us your contact information again. I'm serious. If you're in Atlanta, if you're in Metro Atlanta, you want to check this guy out, okay? I'm pretty good at identifying talent and rising stars, and this guy is one of them. Don't mess around. Just partner up with him. Don't think, well, you know what? I want to do my own thing. Look, have a conversation with Damian first. He has spent years like a mad scientist taking the Craig Proctor system and implementing. And he did the work, right? So acknowledge he's done the work. You don't have to spend the time, the money to do the work. If you're in Metro Atlanta, all you have to do is give him a call, say, hey, I'm interested in maybe being an ISA. I kind of like, you know, that guaranteed salary and having a set hours, knowing when I'm working or not. Or if you're an outside sales agent, you want to make a couple $100,000, $200,000-$300,000 in your pocket with no expenses, give Damian a call, because he's got people doing that right now. The number one thing that Damian wants is he wants everyone that works on his team to make a lot of money. The more money they make, the team members make, the better Damian does, and the more clients we serve. Okay, this is a business, folks. Okay, stop having a real estate job. Check out the other opportunities. Don't immediately judge any of what we talked about here today. It's so easy to say, oh, well, that would never work, or you know, maybe Damian and Craig are just like friends. And look, all of this that we're talking about, 100% true. Check it out for yourself. Now, if you're outside of the Atlanta area and you want to be the Damian in your marketplace, you contact me. Let's have a conversation. I just want to talk to you. I would ask you a bunch of questions about where you are in your business now, and I would give you ideas on how you can make it better. Now, if you believe what I have to say, if you talk to me and say, you know what Craig's suggesting makes a lot of sense, you could decide to work with me, okay, partner up with me, or if not, take all the information I shared with you during the 45 minutes and go do it yourself or do whatever you want with the information. It costs nothing to have a conversation. So if you want to reach me, we'll put a link down below. It's proctorcall.com, proctorcall.com. Go to my calendar, book a day and a time that works for you. Damian will have his contact information below. We'll also have the download of everything that we showed you here today. All those slides, we'll make them available in the comments below. Damian, thank you so much for doing this interview today. I want to see you do 600 transactions next year. That would be
we're
awesome.
gonna do it. Yeah, for sure. We're gonna do it.
Okay,
Thank you,
well,
sir.
okay, we heard it here. We're going to get him back. We'll get you back here and check on your progress, see how you're doing in 6 months or so.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Okay, thanks everybody. This is Craig Proctor. Thank you for watching the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show.
Bye.